When I was still a child, my father had a budgie breeding setup, and he had transformed the entire attic into a large bird area filled with countless aviaries. And up there live around 500 budgies whose constant chirping filled the space. And for me as a child, it felt like a small world of its own, full of colors, sounds, and life that fascinated me every single day. Naturally, I wanted to have my own budgie, because when you stand as a child among so many birds that look at you curiously and tilt their little heads, the desire to have one yourself grows quickly. And I told my father that I absolutely wanted one, because even back then I felt drawn to these lively little animals. However, my father said that I first had to learn how to properly care for a budgie, and he patiently explained what the bird eats, how important fresh water is, and that you must make sure every day that the vitamins in the water are not missing. And he showed me step by step how to keep the cage clean, and how to recognize whether the bird is doing WL. He taught me everything I needed to know, and I practiced every day so I could be sure that later I would be able to take good care of my own budgie. And after a month in which I helped every morning to take care of the aviaries and checked every evening whether everything was fine, my father finally said that I was ready and would now get my own by RD. When I received my own budgie, I was overjoyed, and I named him Twitty because he was so cheerful and lively. And from that moment on, I took care of him every day, gave him fresh water, prepared his food, and talked to him as if he were a little friend who understood me. And this time shaped my love for birds forever. After our old dog had passed away and left a big emptiness behind, I wanted to have a new companion again. And one day I read in the newspaper about a litter of 9 husky puppies, and together with my wife I drove there without knowing what to expect. But when we arrived, I was surprised because the mother was a German shepherd and the father a husky, and the entire litter looked accordingly, with most puppies resembling small shepherd dogs, except for one who had a clear husky face, the bright eyes, and the expression that touched me immediately. And of course I chose exactly this mixed husky, who later became Layla and changed my life. Even as a puppy, nothing was safe from her, because she was curious, wild, playful, and full of temperament. And even our Siamese cat Chyla had to endure her energy at first, because Layla wanted to explore everything, every corner, every sound, every creature, and she ran through the house as if she wanted to conquer the world. And although it was sometimes exhausting, I loved this lively nature because it showed me that this little dog had a big heart and wanted not only to see the world, but to feel it. During the first 2 years, Layla was a whirlwind who constantly wanted to be outside, and whether I walked or rode my bicycle, she ran beside me without a leash, free and confident. And sometimes she hunted small animals in fields. Field mice she even ate, and the veterinarian said it was not harmful but a natural source of vitamin for her. And this mixture of freedom, instinct, and closeness made her not just a companion, but a part of my daily life, my paths, my thoughts. But after 2 years, she became calmer, more balanced, and more mature. And during that time, something special began, because Layla and Chyla became one heart and one soul. And the cat who had initially stepped back from Layla's temperament now lay down next to her when Layla rested at the fireplace. And the two often looked like old friends who understood each other without words. And sometimes I saw Chyla rest her head against Layla's fur, as if telling her she was there, and these small moments showed me that animals form bonds deeper than people tea. NK, this first period with Layla, from the wild puppy through the stormy years to the calm phase in which she and Chyla became inseparable, remains one of my most beautiful memories, because it shows how a small dog becomes a loyal companion who fills not only the house but the heart, and how a cat and a dog, so different from each other, can develop a friendship that cannot be explained but only experienced. And that is why this film begins with the moment Layla entered my life. The bond between Layla and Chyla was something you cannot explain but only see and feel, because it was always beautiful to watch the two of them together, with Chyla seeking Layla's closeness and curling up for hours in her fur, finding safety there and enjoying the warmth that came from Layla's body. And often the cat lay so close to her that it seemed as if they were merging. And these quiet moments showed how deep the friendship between a dog and a cat could become when they trust each other. Chyla was a cat who rarely made noise, but she showed her affection in her own gentle way. And when she began to groom herself, She groomed Layla as well on her body or her ears, and Layla allowed it as if it were the most natural thing in the world. And sometimes she twitched her ears when Chyla started grooming there. And that little twitch was a sign that she liked it, that she enjoyed it, and that she understood Chyla was doing something good for her. And these small gestures made them an inseparable team. There were days when Chyla waited until Layla lay down at the fireplace. And as soon as she did, the cat came slowly, almost sneaking, and lay down in the exact same spot as always, close to Layla's side. And you could see her body relax, her eyes close, and her whole posture soften as she absorbed the warmth, and Layla stayed still, without moving, as if she knew that Chyla needed that place. And this quiet harmony was something rare, because it was not staged, it was R-E-A-L. Sometimes I watched them for minutes, seeing how Chyla touched Layla's fur with a small paw or rested her head on Layla's shoulder. And Layla responded not with sounds or movements, but with a deep calm that showed she accepted, respected, and loved Chyla. And these moments made me realize that animals have emotions just as strong as humans, and that friendship does not depend on being the same, but on understanding each other. This bond between Layla and Chyla was something special, something rare, something you could not plan. And every time I saw them together, I knew they gave each other comfort, that Chyla found safety in Layla, and Layla found peace in Chyla. And this connection lasted for years, until Layla's last day. And that is why their friendship remains one of the most beautiful memories I have ever had with animals. Of course, Layla needed a lot of exercise, and every morning I got up 2 hours earlier, so she would have enough activity. And while I drank my coffee and slowly woke up, she already waited impatiently. Because as soon as I was dressed, she'd jump around happily, knowing that it would not just be a normal walk, but a real run with a bicycle where she was fully challenged, or a long walk on foot where she could hunt, because anything small enough to chase was interesting to her. And even though she never had luck with rabbits, the field mice were more than enough for her to satisfy her hunting instinct. Layla was a dog who came alive outside, and when we walked across the field, you could see how much she loved this freedom, because she ran, sniffed, searched for tracks, and sometimes disappeared briefly in the tall grass only to reappear suddenly. And this energy made our morning round special, because she did not just need movement, but wanted to experience the world. And I let her do it because I knew she needed this freedom to be happy, and because she always returned to me no matter how far she ran ahead. One time we stood in front of a mouse hole, and Layla was completely focused because she absolutely wanted to catch the mouse, and she dug for almost 20 minutes, throwing dirt behind her, sniffing, scratching, and refusing to give up. And I stood next to her watching how she worked with a mix of patience and instinct. And eventually she actually had the mouse in her mouth. But the mouse fought back fiercely, and the moment Layla held it, the mouse bit her in the nose, causing Layla to drop it immediately. And what happened next, I will never forge. The mouse reared up straight, jumped almost a meter high, and showed its tiny teeth as if warning Layla. And Layla stepped back, surprised and completely confused because she had not expected that. And you could see that her appetite disappeared instantly because she did not dare to approach the mouse again. And the mouse used the moment, turned around, and ran back into its hole as if it had just won the greatest victory of its life. And Layla stood there looking at me as if saying that this mouse had clearly won Todd. This scene stayed in my memory because it showed that even a dog like Layla, who was usually brave, strong, and full of energy, could be surprised by a tiny creature. And moments like these made our daily round special because they were not just exercise but little stories you never forget. And Layla was a dog who turned every day into an experience, whether we walked, rode, or simply stood and watched the mouse defend its small territory. When I look back at the many years with Layla, I see a dog who is not only my daily companion, but a part of my life. Because every morning, every run across the fields, every encounter with other animals became a memory that stayed with me. And Layla brought a warmth into my life with her calmness, her kindness, and her freedom that cannot be described but only felt. And this mixture of strength and gentleness made her a being one never forgets. Especially the time with Chyla remains unforgettable, because the two were one heart and one soul. And when I saw them lying together at the fireplace, with Chyla curled into Layla's fur, and Layla staying still as if she knew the cat needed her closeness. I understood that this friendship was not planned but grew naturally, and this harmony showed me how deep bonds between animals can become when they trust each other. As Layla grew older, her calmness remained, and even outside, where she had once been full of energy, she showed a serenity that only animals with many experiences have. And sometimes I saw her simply stand there, the wind in her fur, the fields in front of her, and I knew she loved this world because she was free there, and this freedom was a part of her nature that she never lost, no matter how old she became. Chyla stayed by her side, and even when Layla was no longer as fast as before, the cat still lay next to her, seeking her closeness and showing her that this friendship did not depend on movement or strength but on trust. And these small moments in which the two simply lay together are memories that show me how much animals can feel when you give them time and love. The last years with Layla were filled with calmness, closeness, and many quiet moments. And even though she was no longer as wild as she once was, she remained a dog who made every day special. And the connection between her and Chyla lasted until the end, a sign that friendship does not need to be loud, but can simply exist. And this quiet bond will stay in my heart forever. In this film, you have accompanied Layla and Chyla on their shared journey. Two animals who could not have been more different, and yet lived a friendship that was quiet, warm, and deep. And I hope this story showed you how much closeness and trust can grow between animals when you give them time, space, and love. Layla was a dog who made every day special with her calmness and kindness, and Chyla was a small soul at her side who gave her warmth. And this connection remains one of the most beautiful memories I have ever experienced with animals, because it shows that friendship does not need words, only heart. If you follow them through this film, you have seen how much an animal can mean in a person's life, and how these moments stay even when time moves on. Because Layla lives on in my memories, and Chyla carries this story within her to this day. And that is why I wanted to share it with you. I sincerely thank you for taking the time to watch this documentary, because every minute of attention supports my work and helps me create more films that tell real stories. And I appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel and leave a like so this series can continue to GR. Ow! Thank you for giving Layla and Chyla a piece of your time, because memories live on when they are shared, and I hope this story touched you as much as it touched me, because moments like these stay forever in he. Art, Layla Chyla Dog Cat Friendship Documentary, Husky, Siamese Quiet Bond Animal Story, Emotional Film.